So when we were on the show for HGTV, Battle on the Mountain, I had to do all the buying of material, of furniture. He would come back and forth with, oh, I forgot this, or I forgot that. And it actually cost us a challenge. He would tell me, put the computer down at night, but we were on a crunch, so that became an argument. The fact that we missed out on certain things that we needed that were like crucial, like tile spacers, like that was crucial. And that he would tell me to turn off the computer when I'm like, we only have 72 hours to finish this challenge. And Tony likes to kind of like unwind at night, and I was not unwinding. And so that became a source of irritation at the hotel when I'm like, 2 o'clock in the morning, still ordering things, and he'll say something like, are you still on the computer? I'm like, are you the one ordering the stuff? It's me. And so it was kind of that back and forth. Well, what would you say about that?
No, yeah. I don't think I was understanding how you were going through all of that stress and all the little details. I'm more of a big picture kind of guy, and so I'm just going after I know that we can get it done. And yeah, I like to relax. You know, I mean, the day's long, and not that I want to be passive, but I wasn't really understanding what your feelings were at that time.
Yeah.
So.
Another thing I would say, I just have a list of them. Another thing I would say was, when you work and tools are everywhere, I'm big about like, things have to be organized. We need to know where to find a hammer. Like hammers would go missing because simply there was no organization. So it was always me in the morning, like making sure everything was clean. But him and the crew, the guys were just throwing things everywhere. And that was also a source of irritation. And I think it actually cost us one of...
So you're saying I'm the reason why we lost?
I mean, if you were a little more organized, we may have won.
I know exactly where it's at until you move it. When you move it, then I don't know where it's at, and I have this like.
This is another argument. He's the blame shifting. You moved it, and then I blame him for not being organized. So
that is true.
That's the life of being married.
That's true.
But it's great. We resolve them. So we started renovating houses and design. We found a window, an old window in an alley that I picked up, and I let it sit in our garage for months. And then one day he challenged me and he said, are you ever going to do anything with that? And I was like, yeah, I have a plan for it. And so I painted it, kind of made it look nice, and I wrote on the window pane, I am my beloved's and he is mine. And then we hung it on over our bedroom, our bed, and that became the window that started it all. And that's when I fell in love with design. I've always had an eye for beautiful things, but I started on a budget DIYing. And I don't know if you want to add, but that's how we kind of started the business, and then started designing, and then people started noticing and saying, can you do that for us? And then it grew from there. And that was about 12 years ago. We started selling things at markets and recycling stuff and restoring things, which is a picture of our marriage story, which it like correlates with our story. So that's how we started. But do you want to add anything on that?
We started to do small scale renovations, room by room. We understood that not everybody could afford just to do the whole house, so we started to do room by room. And it started because we couldn't afford the nice things that Lymari liked. So I was like, well, we're going to have to do it ourselves. And every home that we were in, we started to redo it. I mean, it was like the first few years, actually, in every home was kind of like renovating and renovating and renovating. And so we would just post it, and that's kind of what we started to do. So we still do that today at small scale. We just renovate room by room and try to beautify somebody's home and inspire them to make more changes throughout the home.
Yeah, transforming homes one room at a time is really a slogan that we use, and that has been our story.
Yep. I would choose a fight word, right? Would be good. No, that's not a good one. That's not a good one. No, take that back out. Don't say that one. No, we realized that fighting was pulling us apart. Immediately. The minute you started an argument, the minute you feel the tension, it pulls you away from each other, builds like this isolation. And so I told her one day when we were at the hotel, I said, listen, let's start. When that happens, I'm going to come and I'm going to hug you. And so I would just hug her, and I would silently do a little prayer, even if she didn't want to be hugged. Like I can feel Lymari didn't want me hugging her, but she would just stand there, and I'm just hugging her, and just asking for the Lord to help us in this moment right now that we're going through, because we had to de-escalate right away, because once it starts to get to that point where you start, raising your voice, the other one's raising your voice, you start moving more apart, you start adding more things onto that. It's like instantly we went into it. And so that really helped us out a lot to finish the project that was at hand, and all the other rooms that we were doing. It was kind of like our secret sauce for finishing up the show.
Yeah, and everything we were doing, we were mic'd up. So
Yeah.
even in our little tension fights on the side, we're like, and then we would remember that we have a mic on, and it's like, isn't that funny that people are watching you and hearing you, and all of a sudden there's like this self-control.
Yeah.
But that should be the life that we live, because we have people who are watching us, our kids, and especially that the Lord watches all of it. And so Holy Spirit. So self-control was something we had to really practice
And embrace.
yeah. But it was, we would when we would get in heated tensions, it was usually in the car on the way to the hotel, not on the site. But we did have two pretty heated arguments, and they didn't show it. They edited it from the film or from the show. But it was interesting because I was like, that is gonna look really bad. But at the end of the day, we're normal human beings. We argue. It's how do we end our day? Do we apologize? Do we love each other? Do we walk out of that site hand in hand because we're working together? And so we learned so much. But we didn't argue as much as some of the other people, because we've been doing this for 28 years and we know how to quickly get over a fight, and not let it roll over to the next day or for hours. So, yeah.